gave him all the text that goes on the document, and then I gave him the flyer.
Not how that works.
Pretty good, man. We're just doing something, so my classes are bored. But this is last week.
Really doing it.
Yeah.
We should be able to shut up. But yeah.
It's pretty worried that they want to do it, but they're like.
Yeah, you have to do it. Yeah, so the kids need it, but it's, you gotta do it. And I tell the kids, I'm like, look guys, like, this safety's not for me. I'm not gonna lose a finger. I'm safe. You know, this safety's for you guys. Like, this is to keep you and your teammates safe. Okay? Like, you guys need to pay attention. I know this is. Hopefully next week, we're doing our last safety test this week, then we'll start measuring the gains and stuff, and then after that. But maybe once we finish safety, we'll take it to a shop so that they get a break from class work, you know what I mean? And then I'll probably have them draw out the shop, hey, where's emergency stuff, exits and all that stuff. So they need to know that too. That'll give them a break from classroom, you know? That way they're not like, this class sucks. Because right now they're at the point where like, we're done with safety, you know? But
You can't even take a minute without passing all those tests.
Nope. And signatures from parents. So, I mean, I can, but somebody gets hurt and it's a big problem, you know? But like I was telling him, I try to tell students like this, I'm not gonna get hurt, like this is for you guys. This is so you don't lose a finger. I'm fine.
You were talking about safety and I was in there the other day, right?
Oh yeah, you were there. Oh my
My
goodness.
dad had a friend who I think in Vietnam lost his fingers. So he was like this. But he figured out and he would smoke his cigarettes
What the heck?
with two. It was the weirdest thing I ever saw. Not like this. No, he would smoke them.
That's funny.
He would go dove hunting and you know, he figured it out. But man, like I keep thinking about you.
That's funny. Hey, so I have an uncle who, he works at a metal shop and they bid material for like semi-trucks and he's cut off his finger. And I had him send me the picture and I showed it to my students. And they were able to put it back on, but it's like missing a piece and his nail now grows like around his finger. Yeah. It looks like he's growing like a helmet, like an astronaut helmet on his finger. It's gross. My student's like, what? Like, yeah, that's my uncle. It's gross.
Pay attention, huh?
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, he's a grown adult. Like, this didn't happen in high school. This happened a couple years ago, you know? And he's like 45. So, yeah, it's serious stuff, man. So I know they get bored, but it's serious. Before we start.
Did you get a chance to sign in?
Yeah.
You got all the papers over there? Take one of each of those papers. Take one of each.
Are any of these classes virtual?
Yes and no. If you want the credit for the classroom management, in other words, you want the units, you gotta be there. There is going to be a Zoom available, but you won't be able to earn the university credits. And so sign up for it, and then we'll make sure that Zoom link is out tomorrow, because the class is going up.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. Yes, because I have to do it with my county schools as well.
So this is a lot of good information, but I don't want to say, but even if I can't be there, if I can get the slides and video.
Are you got things going on, or is it?
I have 7 kids, so I've got things going on all the time. So I'm good on units right now, but the information is valuable.
We'll put you on a time sheet if it helps.
That balance of.
I understand.
So these classes get Friday.
So you're back, bro. You're back.
4 to 5:30.
Yeah, and then I have to do like
We're about
It didn't seem like.
2 months away from the So too long?
Not everybody else has it.
I know,
So,
I know, yeah.
You go anywhere or what?
My kids play sports, man, but not the softball tournament. Riverdale.
I would like information.
Why not? There's nothing there, bro. There's like a.
Yeah.
You can't shake
My old
it.
company used to have a Santa game.
Yeah, it's Tesla, bro.
Yeah.
Like
There's
there's
just cows.
there's like a supermarket across the street, and then that's about it, man. This is the liquor store down the street, bro. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I guess.
It's like a street of like 5 stores.
Yeah.
And then just farm labor.
That's all it is, that farmers market. Yeah. There's a lot of like
Technology wise.
those houses that they have like tents. They have a bunch of farmers like kind of an apartment complex kind of stuff.
I don't know how you started it, but
Dairy farms, man. Dairy farms up there.
like my social emotional.
Well, all my kids have been really good. I have a lot of areas of growth.
I'll be like, yeah. And then he texts me too. He's like, hey, don't forget.
There you go.
So, I didn't either. I was like, for some reason, I told my wife this was Wednesday. She was like, you told me it was Wednesday. And I was like, oh, it's today.
Maybe the 3-day weekend.
I don't know what it was. Yeah, I've been off about everything though. Even like open house, I was like, oh, that's Wednesday. I don't know why Wednesday I figured it was Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. All right, so everybody picked up one of those pieces of paper over there. It's a lot, I know. You have so much spare time that we needed some more reading material. I want to make sure that I supply that for you. There were 20 plus people signed up. I'm thinking right now we're at 15 if I were to make a fast count. So there may be some more people walking in late, but I like to start on time so you can end on time. And I know you're tired, it feels like Monday even though it's Tuesday, and all you're thinking about is your adult beverage and putting feet up. You want to watch the Dodgers beat the Angels tonight. So.
Yes, sir.
Let's get started, and we're going to start with making sure my doohickey works. That's a technical word, right? Doohickey? There we go. Here's our contact information, and I gave you, in fact, he's got it on top. That's on one of the handouts. We have April Mesa is the Associate Superintendent, well, so she's, I don't know exactly the title, but Human Resources. She's the one that's overseeing all the credentialing. And then you probably work with another lady in the office called Kim Crossan on getting your credential done. And then you have another tech person that's specific to your permit pyramid that you may or may not have met yet. There's a lot of people across the street. So, I'm Steve Thornton. I am the coordinator for teacher support mentors for secondary for Madera Unified. I also match master teachers with student teachers, and I run the Madera Induction Consortium for the entire Madera County. And so your next step is induction. And just so I cover Bass Lake and Chowchilla, and in fact Thursday I'm going to be at Hillside Elementary doing a PD there. So a lot of things under our umbrella here. This office is full of TSMs. We have elementary on that side and secondary on this side. The district thinks enough of you and your success that this building represents about a $4.5 million annual budget. So it's a lot of money. We have 11 secondary and 11 elementary teacher support mentors, of which you've all met your specific one. And I'm hoping that things are going well for you in that regard. This is my 15th year in this position. Before that, I taught at Madera High School. And before that, I taught in the Grand and Planada. And I was actually, you looked at me like you know that. So
What years?
Year was 2000, 2001. I was at Granada High School.
Granada, okay. I
And
graduated 2003.
There you go. And then a little bit later, I was at the Grand High School with Randy Lappin's a good friend.
Lapin, yeah, Phoenix,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I was at Chavez Middle School in 2004, for a year. Before that, I was a youth pastor, and I spent time in Wyoming and Curry County and everywhere. So I can see daylight. I can see the train lights coming through the tunnel. Retirement's around the corner. I've got about another 4 years to go. And you guys are 4 years. You're thinking 40 years. Oh my goodness. Just getting started. Jessica Salazar is our admin assistant. You met her. In fact, she's standing in the doorway. I want to tell you that she's a wealth of knowledge, and she's been in this position even longer than I have, and can answer a lot of questions. So feel free to give her a call or email. Unlike me, she's really good at getting back to you with email. I will tell you honestly, the best way to get hold of me is my cell number. That's why I gave it to you. AT&T's been super generous with me. They said I have unlimited texting. If you're old enough to remember, it used to cost 15 cents a text. Texting is a great way to get a hold of me for a quick answer. I'm really good at answering those quickly. If you want to call me on my cell, I'm okay with that. I just know that I run through meetings on campuses a lot, and today I answered 6 emails or 7, but I literally got like 50 emails today. A lot of them were just read and throw away. I didn't have to answer, but just saying. There's still 60 emails in my box that I have to deal with, and I don't know. Tomorrow I have literally meetings all day. I hope Thursday I'm supposed to go to their high school, so I don't know. When am I going to get a chance to do that? And I try to be present when I'm home and not on my phone. And so I try not to deal with email. Plus, there's always a question where I need to dig something out and attach something that's really difficult to do from the phone. So I don't usually answer email at home, but I will answer your text. So you want to text me at 10 o'clock at night, and if I happen to be awake, I'll answer. Let's do this. I want to go around the room, and I want you to think really hard for a moment. It might be a challenging question, and my answer is exactly what credentials you have and where you are in the process. Okay? So tell us your name, where you're teaching, what your teaching assignment is, and what credential you currently hold. And we'll start with this man. Madera High School, it's the Madera High School. It's also Dodger Blue, if you happen to know it.
Aaron Ramirez. I teach at Madera High School. I teach the automotive program in 3 sections of construction. I cleared my credential last year.
What do you mean cleared?
I'm cleared. That's why I asked why I had to be here.
You have a clear credential?
Cleared CT credential.
CT credential.
I worked Fresno Unified for 3 years, and I cleared and held my. So I thought I was done. I don't even have anybody like a mentor right now. So can I go? Thank you. You enjoy, everybody.
Nice to meet you, man. Yeah.
Talk to Jessica on the
Tell
way.
everybody say hi.
I will. Thank you, sir. I'm free.
That was mine.
Oh, all right. Can I take this stuff? Just
You may. You can come to our classroom
You gotta put it
management.
back in order.
in order. I'll save in your seat.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
That happens.
Hey, but you showed up.
Yeah. Because I emailed earlier, like, do I have to be there? Yes. Okay.
You have a clear CT credential. All right.
Yep.
We'll get you out of here.
Thank you. Good seeing you again.
Come on in. We'll start with you. We're going to start with your name, what you're teaching, and exactly what your credential status is right now.
Stand up.
You're not-
No.
You're old.
Maurice Barksdale. Teaching at Desmond. I'm teaching the CT Will. And I'm teaching the engineering and manufacturing portion of it. And that's it.
What's your credential status right now?
Oh, my credential status is preliminary.
Preliminary CTE.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Byron's your guy.
Byron's my guy.
Byron's your guy.
Hi guys, my name is Daisy. I'm at MLK Middle School. I teach science 7th grade, and I am on a short-term permit.
So you're on a STIP,
Yeah.
short-term staff permit, and Brian's your guy. Brian Richardson.
Yeah.
Lucia Tovar, I'm at MLK, I teach Science 7. I'm on a short term, between my visa and then I go through.
And you were with us last year at the long-term subs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and Brian's your guy.
yeah, second year with me.
You're-
Jonah Cottrell. I'm at Torres High School teaching life science, and I'm on an intern credential.
Intercredential. Very good. And Brian's your guy.
Yeah.
Brian's the guy.
David Gakowski, I'm teaching 8th grade science at MLK, and I'm on an intern credential, and Brian's my guy.
I'm Mariah Stewart. I teach ELA 1 and ERWC at Torres, and I am on an intern credential.
And Kayla's your girl. Kayla or Sarah?
Cherokee.
Cherokee. Okay.
Yes.
Cherokee. We were just talking about you. Sorry.
Yeah,
I bet.
she's good.
Yay.
I'm Christian Galindo. I'm teaching at Madera South, teaching the ROP sports medicine class as well as exploring health careers. And I'm at preliminary CTE as well.
And Oscar's your guy.
Oscar, yep.
Augustine Reyes, I'm over at Taurus, I'm teaching CTE, public safety, preliminary credential, and Cherokee is my credential.
Cherokee. And she did a little bit of that over in MagTech, so that's why we figured that out.
Cool. I'm Michael Dorado. I teach at Torres as well. I teach the CTE manufacturing courses there, and I have my preliminary.
Preliminary CTE, and Sarah's your gal.
Yes, Sarah. Yep, we were there last week.
Carlos Calderon, I teach RSP English and history at Madera South, and I'm on an internship.
Internship. What university?
Fresno State.
Fresno State. And who's your
Casey.
Casey.
Alex Soto, I teach photography and video at Madera South High School, CTE, and I'm on preliminary.
Good, good.
Yeah, Sam Vidal, and I'm teaching marketing and design at Madera South, and I'm preliminary credential.
CTE.
Yes.
And who's your South?
Yeah.
Oscar?
Yep.
I'm Jackie. I teach 7th grade and 8th grade special education science at Desmond Middle School, and I'm on STEM. And Casey is my
Hey, that's a tough gig right there. You were internship, you said?
no, a STEM.
A step.
My name is Michael. I am social science at Torres. I'm on a STIP, and Caitlin.
Caitlin Morgan.
I'm Andrew. I teach sophomore English at Madera High, and I'm on an internship. My person is Sarah.
Sarah.
I'm Luis Melchor. I'm at Desmond. I'm an RSP math teacher for 8th grade, and I'm on a STIP.
Step.
Yep.
Okay. And Casey.
My name is Patricia Becerra. I teach at Torres, CTE. I'm on a preliminary CTE.
Okay. So, we added a 7th period this year. And so I will tell you that normally when I do this meeting, I have 3 CTE people and everyone else is on a PIP or a STIP or an internship teaching a gen ed class. This is very unusual for me in that we have like 4 or 5 gen ed teachers, a couple sped teachers, and the rest of y'all are CTE. So I have to try to modify my talk a little bit tonight and try to answer your questions. And some of the things I'm going to say are going, well, it doesn't make sense. So it's important that we keep our credential distinction because I got to really almost needed to separate this meeting. So I'm like, it has just CTE people and then everyone else. So let's get started and talk about, I'm not going to make you read it. I'm going to skip ahead to this matrix. Now, there's a matrix, and I'm going to lecture a little bit. And it looks like, what it says, what are the differences between, I think you might have grabbed my file. It's that one. Can you hold that up for a minute? All right, and I want you to turn it over for a minute, because here's where we're going to start our first differentiated instruction. Career Tech Ed doesn't have a PIP or a STIP. You get here, if you're a Career Tech Ed based on mostly your experience, right? Sometimes it can be a university. And when they give you a credential, you already have a preliminary. Did you do anything other than sign some paper to get a preliminary? They just gave it to you, made sure you had blood pressure, and gave you a TB test, and that was it. Did you even have to pass the CBEST? No. These other teachers are going, hey, let's talk about RECA.
Yeah. My wife hates me.
Yeah.
She's a regular school teacher, and she's like, what? You don't have to know anything.
Here's what we know. In order for you to get it clear, and hopefully you already know this, and I'm already telling you something you know, you've got to work 2 years in the classroom and pass some more classes, and you have to do a portfolio your second year, right? Put it on the web. You with me so far? You don't need to write all that, you got all that. Your credential nowhere says that you need a mentor. Now think about it for a moment. You have all kinds of curricular knowledge of your subject area. And you know jack poop about running a classroom. Is that pretty fair?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to say that as nice as I can.
So I appreciate the mentor.
All right, here's where we're at on that. We want to make sure you have a mentor for the next 2 years. So, first year in the classroom, CTE guys, we're going to help you with how do I get on Aries? What is Illuminate? What are you talking about in assessment? What is a classroom procedure? How do I go use the photocopy machine? Why do I wear this stupid badge? What do I do at Halloween and candy and mask, and do we even do that? And do I have to show up on time on a foggy day? We're going to answer all those questions for you with your mentor. They're going to get in your class, and we're going to do some similar things with you that we do with our gen ed teachers. We're going to make you do a video of yourself. We're going to reflect on that. We're going to gather data. We're going to look at lesson planning. We're going to look at pacing guide for the year. We're going to backward map. We're going to talk about assessment data. We're going to try to make your classroom look like a gen ed classroom with the content knowledge you have and train you up as quickly as possible. And in your second year, we're going to continue to doing that along with helping you put your portfolio together. You got to put a website together, is that right? We're going to concentrate on that. In fact, I'm going to ask you to be part of our pre-credential teacher support classroom and do the journals. And next year, I'm not going to make you be in the classroom because all you're going to do is the portfolio. Capiche? And why are we doing this? Because it's the right thing to do. There's no mandate from the state. There's no mandate even from the district. Again, in fact, the district let us choose whether we want to support it or not. I said, come on, man. We've got to help these people be the best that they can be. All right. So now turn your paper back over. Let's talk about, I did not hear anybody say pre-internship permit or PIP. Let me explain that to you if you want to take some notes. Here's what you need to be a PIP. And it's actually very close to being a STIP. You have to satisfy the CBEST requirement. And now, by the way, they're even saying a bachelor's degree satisfies that. Some of you had to take the CBEST, even to be a substitute teacher, right? No? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to have 9 units in your upper division or 18 units in your major to be a PIP. And you have to be non-subject matter compliant. What does that mean? It means that you don't have a major in the area that you're teaching and you haven't passed the CSETs yet. If that's the case, you can be a PIP. You can be a PIP for 1 year in your lifetime. Okay? If nobody's in here is a PIP, so you're like, well, I need to write down I'm a PIP. So you're a STIP. The only difference between being a PIP and a STIP is that the STIP is a catch-all. So if you have already satisfied subject matter competency, we can't give you a PIP, but we can give you a STIP. Make sure you write this down for sure. It's only good for your 1 year in your life. 1 year in your life. Most of you started your STIP July 1st, July 15th, August 1st, somewhere around there, yeah? What does that tell you about next year? You can't be a STIP again next year. All right. So what do you have to do to move the ball down the field to be ready for next year? What do you need to have in your pocket next year? There are 2 options for next year.
CSETs.
Well, what credential do you need next year in order to have a job?
Me?
Yeah, if you're a STIP this year.
Oh, no, I'm an intern.
So that's one of them. So if I'm a STIP this year, I must be an intern next year, or why are you getting an internship? Because you're getting a preliminary. Those are your 2 options. If you're on a STIP this year, you must have intern eligibility or preliminary credential, now I really want you to write this down, by May 30. Why May 30? Because we can't guess if you're going to make it during the summer. And then you come to us in August and say, I'm sorry, I didn't pass my test, and now we can't hire you back, and now we got to try to hire someone else, and there's no one to hire. Y'all people are hard to find. Is that how they say it, Churchill? Y'all? It is. It's hard to find you guys. Look, I got 4 science teachers right here in a row that we fought hard and long to get here and make sure that they're being successful, so they stick around. Science teachers are really hard to find. Are you kidding me? A 7th, 8th grade special ed teacher? Gold! You're gold. It's hard to keep you. You want to make sure you stick around. Okay. Listen carefully. If you have a STIP, you need to figure out what your next steps are to get to internship. Unless you're going to be able to do student teaching in your classroom right now under the umbrella of a university, which most of the time you have to be an intern to do that. Okay? So what do you need to get to internship? You have to show a subject matter competency in order to become an intern. Either you have a major in the area that you're teaching or you pass the CSETs. Science, how hard are those tests? Very hard. PE is not any easier. Right? Math, oh my gosh. Fortunately for math, we can take foundational math or teach 9th grade and below, but those 4 subsets of math, or 3 subsets of math are pretty difficult. We need you to pass those before May 30. And you got to figure out which university you're going to and make sure you're enrolled. And you have to demonstrate that to the district by May 30 that you are going to be an intern come fall. Have you picked a university? You've got to start talking about admission requirements and transcripts and financial aid. You have a lot of work to do to make sure that you can come back next year. Okay? Let me ask you this question. PIPs, STIPs, and first-year CTE people, do you have a lot to offer our students as far as teaching well and knowledge and pedagogy and strategies? Or are you coming to us kind of as a blank slate? This is going to sound insulting, and I don't mean it to be, but you're marginally more qualified than a substitute teacher. Is that fair to say? You haven't done any student teaching, you haven't got any theory classes yet. The last time you were at junior high school was when you were a junior high student. Right? We're going to help you. Here's what you should know. Looking at the data, we looked at NWEA scores, so it's math and English. Our teachers, by and large, performed at the same level as our veteran teachers towards the end of last year. First year teachers in the classroom. That's the first thing. Second thing, anecdotally, what we're hearing is those that leaned into the mentoring had a higher rating on their evaluations. Okay? And third, their year, based on survey data that we got back, was better than those that resisted coaching or only had a part-time coach. We reduced the stress of teachers' lives. Okay? So I told you, so now you know what an PIP and a STIP is. I'll tell you what an intern is in a moment. But let me revert back to my old school life. Remember I told you what I was before I was a teacher? Youth pastor. I got to preach a little bit. You ready? I got to preach. Your mentor is a peer and not an administrator. In fact, they are prohibited from snitching on you, from talking about you to your administrator by ed code, by program standards, and by my expectations. So just know that the TSMs that you're working with under my direct supervision, I evaluate them, I hired them, and I discipline them and fire them if I have to. They're so good I've never had to go there, right? They're going to have confidential conversations with you. I can't emphasize that enough. They will not talk about you with other teachers. They won't go to the lunchroom and gossip and say, have you been in Jeff's room? Oh my gosh, it's a disaster. They won't do that. They won't go to admin and say, hey, there's a problem here. They'll just talk to you about it and try to figure it out. They will talk to me. And we'll talk about you in a way that I can help them coach you up. Here's some ideas. Here's some things you can say. Here's some things you can do. But I also set boundaries for them. It says, can I do this and help this? And I sometimes have to say, no, you can't because it goes out of the balance, right? So I want you to understand first and foremost that you can trust your mentor with what's going on in the classroom and sometimes with what's going on outside of the classroom. I mean, if you need someone to talk to about your roommate or your significant other or your mom who's nagging on you because you're not married yet or whatever, you have a mentor that you can talk to. And I tell them they're an emotional nurse and you're going to emotionally vomit and they're going to clean it up, put it away, and then you can get back to work. Because if you're jacked up on the outside of class, there's a chance you're going to be jacked up on the inside of the classroom. Okay? First and foremost, you can trust your mentor. The second thing is, please be vulnerable with your mentor. I'm going to ask you to share your informal observations with your mentors. And you're going to say, I don't know what to do about this. And my mentor's going to go, I've seen this before, we can fix that. We can work on that. We can do this. We can, and we'll work it out together. But you have to be honest with the mentor and say, I'm really struggling with. I would love it if you use that sentence when you meet with them next time. Everything's going great, but I'm really struggling with. And let them know what you're struggling with. And I promise, they will get so excited that they have a problem to work with and they can help solve. All they want to do is come and help you. But you got to trust them. And what I hear from people that are younger than me, I'm 59, I own that. I will tell you that getting old is not the curse that you think it is. The 50s have been the greatest decade of my life. Honest truth. It has been the greatest decade of my life. But what I hear from young people is, don't worry, I got this. I got this. I got this. I don't know if it's a generational thing. I don't know if you hear that from your friends. But we know that some of our teachers last year resisted coaching until about December, January, when they realized there were some problems. And then they said, hey, can you help me? Like, I could have. It's too late now. And some of our teachers left, not because they resisted coaching, but because they needed coaching and didn't accept it. Okay? Some of you, I heard, even you're coaching sports, right? How would you feel if your star player, the best one on the team, was uncoachable? And every time you asked them to do something and they chose not to do it, how long would you put up with that? You look like you're coaching basketball?
Mm-hmm.
How long would you put up with that?
Not very.
Sit on the bench.
Yeah, not very long.
Not very long. How long do you think your administrator is going to put up with teachers that are uncoachable? That's the number one criteria for keeping your job. Embrace it. Your mentors are not there to be snitches, because snitches get stitches.
How does your admin know if you coach both? You guys aren't allowed to tell them.
They're also coaching you, aren't they? Aren't they not coming and giving you informal observations? Aren't they looking for changes and giving you suggestions? And if they don't see them, what's going to happen?
My admin's been pretty busy. They had a lot of problems at my school, so.
Well, they've at least been in your classroom once in August already.
Yeah.
If they didn't, then we have a problem.
No, they